Hey, what's up everyone? Danny and Alex. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important aspects of boxing, and that is defensive skills. Okay, so in the next couple of videos on our channel, I'm going to be showing you guys some boxing methods to defend against all of the punches. So before I get started, it's very important to understand that there's two things. Number one, before you watch videos and start training on your own, it's super important to have supervision. Number one, having a good qualified coach to be there to always make sure that you and your training partner, the session doesn't get too spirited, for example. You know, sometimes people get carried away and it's in a well-controlled environment where no one gets injured. Secondly, it's also very important to get reminded at all times about the task at hand. What I mean by that is you need to keep the focus and concentrate on what you're doing. So if you're going to be working on your defensive tactics, that's what you got to be working on. You can't be throwing out punches blindly and only focusing on offense. A lot of times athletes, especially in boxing or Muay Thai, what happens is they don't want to focus on the defensive stuff. They want to just attack and attack and attack. The thing is, if you watch any boxing fight, for example, 2/3 is going to be defensive stuff. 1/3 is the offense. So most of the time, people are going to be, moving their head or blocking and parrying more than they're going to be attacking a lot of times. Okay, so the defensive aspect is super important. Plus, it's the art of not getting hit, right? Pretty much. So we're going to talk about that. The other thing that's super important is to always wear protective equipment. So we're not going to wear a mouth guard, but I would recommend that you wear a mouth guard if you're going to be practicing with your training partner. Your coach probably going to tell you to do so as well. In case you miss a punch, mouth guard's always there to protect you. And the second thing is a good quality pair of boxing gloves, all right? And you don't want the cheap stuff. You want good quality gloves to protect yourself and also your training partner. Now, you always want to work with the gloves that you're going to be using in the fight. So Alex here is wearing, for example, in his youth division, his weight class, it's going to be 8 or even 10 ounce gloves. So he's wearing 8 ounce gloves, I should say. And in my case, it's the 12 ounce gloves. And that's the fight glove weight that you're going to be wearing from your division if you were to compete amateur or professional. So I always recommend, if you're going to be working your defensive tactics, to use the equipment that you're going to be wearing in the ring as well. Okay, now we got that covered. The first thing before we look at some of the ways we're going to block the jab, because the jab defense is this first video, I want Alex to get into a stance facing the camera, and he's going to squat down and hold that position below. Okay, so squat low and hold it there. So what I like to do a lot of times is just check. I'm just going to lightly push him to the side and make sure he's in good balance, because having a good stance means being in good balance. So if his feet were narrow, super close, and he squats down, of course now there's nothing holding him. So he's got to have a good base. And now if he squats, I can check. That means his feet are set in the proper position. That means his right foot is back, his left foot is in front. Okay, he's right-handed, so that's his stance. And slightly on the balls of his feet, so that way there he can move quickly. And now his hands are always in a good on-guard position. If he turns facing me, he's got the on-guard position where anywhere I'm going to be attacking him, he's ready to use those defensive tactics we're going to talk about in the next couple of videos. Now, let's cover the jab for the first video, or the first defense. And as a trainer, I want to mix it up with my student, right? So I'm going to be wearing gloves as well. So there's no better way to teach good defense to your fighter than stepping in there in front of them. Holding the mitts or boxing gloves. That's the best way, because you're right in front and you can see exactly what he's doing correctly, and if you need corrections on certain aspects of his defense. So now we're going to use what we call the catch. Now, not to be confused with the parry. Okay, we're going to talk about the parry in a second, but first it's going to be the catch. As he throws the jab to me, that's the target right here. Okay, now I'm going to use the backhand. This is why I call it the catch, because it's the catcher's mitt, and just catch that jab from here. Boom. I'm going to drop my lead hand so you guys can see. Boom. Again. Boom. And now I just place my hand in front of my chin and just catches as such. Boom. 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 Okay? So the catch is going to be the first defense we're working on today. So once again, he throws it, boom, and just catch. Boom. All right, your turn, Alex. Boom. 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 All right. So when you do this technique, sometimes what I'll have my athlete do is drop the opposite hand completely. Take it out of there, right? So it doesn't have to think about this. The thing about defense is if you have to start thinking about your defense, there's big chances you're going to get hit, all right? It has to be repetitious, something that's always done on a daily basis until it becomes second nature. You're not even thinking about how you're going to block. You see the punch coming, boom, and you just react. Okay, so that is the first defensive tactic we're using, is the catch. So I'll usually recommend that students spend at least a full 3-minute round on isolating every single defensive tactics we're going to show. Now, the second thing we're going to look at is the parry. All right, so now as he throws the jab, I'm going to push it on the outside of his glove. Let me drop this hand here so you guys can see. Boom, boom. Now notice from the front, as I parry on the outside, it returns back where it started. I don't want to leave it there, okay? So the trajectory is going to be boom and comes right back like a spring, okay? So Alex is going to parry my jab, boom, 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 boom. One more, boom. Just move it out and basically just change the path of the opponent's punch and redirect it to the side. That is the second way we defend the jab. All right, guys, so there you have it. Quick tutorial on how to simply defend the left jab. Guys, hope you enjoyed this content. Leave us a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more boxing tutorials just like this one. Until next time.
We'll see you guys in the next boxing video.
Take care.